Frank Frangie, Hayes Carline, Andrew Gibson. Hayes got a question for you.
Yeah.
How long have we been on the show today? Since 3?
Since 3.
Graham Cam come in here earlier?
He did not. I don't know what annoys Denny more, the quarterback whisper intro or Graham recording him.
Yeah, because,
when he comes in
the
here.
whisperer shows up,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden camera shows up.
That's
the
right.
lights, the action.
It's like doing radio with DiCaprio.
I mean, where's the caviar, for God's sake?
I know which one annoys me more, but I'm not going to say it because I don't want to hurt Graham's feelings.
Okay.
I'm just happy Frank didn't have like a whisperer joke today.
That I did all I could. I've gone a whole season with them. I'm not that creative anyway, so I've used them all. We were talking about this during the break, so we'll get the quarterback in just a second. But I've got this list of the 16 college football teams with the biggest estimated fan base. I don't know how they figured this out, but the biggest estimate. Ohio State won 11.26 million fans.
Okay.
What do you think the rest of the list is?
I would think Michigan would be high.
They are fifth with 6.26 million fans.
Texas
is third with 7.82 million fans.
You said Notre Dame at the break.
Notre Dame is second with 8.21. So it's Ohio State, Notre Dame, Texas. You got those three.
Alabama
is eighth with 5.34 million.
Oh, maybe because of population density. So
maybe that's
Florida.
Florida is sixth with 5.89 million.
If we're going 16, Georgia's in 16.
Yes.
Georgia is 12th with 3.99 million.
And I would assume Texas A&M is in 16.
They are very nice. They are 13th with 3.87.
Now, this is a small school, but it's a big market. USC
is 10th with 4.46. You guys are very good.
Penn State.
They're fourth.
Yeah, good job.
So it's Ohio State, Notre Dame, Texas, Penn State, Michigan, Florida 6. You guys have not gotten 7. Alabama is 8. You have not gotten 9, and USC is 10.
Auburn.
Auburn is not on this. They are tied for 15th.
Okay.
With Tennessee.
Wow, we haven't gotten 6.
You got 6. You have not gotten 7.
7
and 9. 7, 9, and 11 are the 3 you've missed. Okay.
Tennessee.
Tennessee is tied for 15th.
Would Clemson be one?
You've missed 7, 9, and 11.
I don't think so either.
Clemson's not on the list.
You know what I'm going back to? I'm going back to the conference talks.
Yeah, all right.
And the TV markets.
Yeah, so 7.
And so I want to say Boston College.
Not in it. 7, 9, and 11. Okay.
I'm out.
All right. So
I'm just trying to now go through.
Well, the one you missed, 11's the one I thought you ought to have gotten higher. I thought would be higher is LSU. LSU's 11. 7 and 9, Oregon.
Okay.
Really?
Which I would not have thought. I'm with you. And Wisconsin is 9.
Okay.
Oregon 7, Wisconsin is 9. Here's the funniest one on here, okay? So I gave you the 1 through 10. Ohio State, Notre Dame, Texas, Penn State, Michigan, Florida, Oregon, Alabama, Wisconsin, USC. LSU 11, Georgia 12, A&M 13. I'm going to skip 14. And tied for 15 are Auburn and Tennessee. I'll bet I could ask you to guess 14, and you wouldn't get it in 20 guesses.
Nebraska?
No. I'll bet you wouldn't get it. I'll bet you could guess till Helmets and Hills.
So I thought Nebraska at Oklahoma.
BYU.
And,
nope. You wouldn't get it. I'm going to have to tell you.
Okay.
You
tell us.
20 guesses, you wouldn't get it.
20 guesses?
You wouldn't get it. I'm telling you, you would not get it in 20
I mean, if there's money on this, we'll sit here and do this for 20 guesses.
No, you wouldn't. You would not. You wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't get
Rutgers.
It in 20. No.
Okay.
I would not get it in 20 guesses. Syracuse.
Wow.
Syracuse. Wow.
I would have gone through. Before I got to Syracuse, I would have gone to Iowa. I would have gone to UCLA. I wouldn't have got to. Would you have gotten to Syracuse?
No, I don't think
so.
so.
I was thinking the Northeast corridor just because of the conversations that we were having.
Yeah.
But I would have never gotten Syracuse.
All right, let's get right to it. Anthony Richardson is declared for the NFL. He's gonna try the process. Take me through his thought process. Obviously, you guys talk all the time. I assume you're going to be working together very closely now. I don't say anything private. I'm not trying to get into your business, but I think everybody knows now he's working with you for the next 3 months. Well, I don't think that's a secret anymore.
Right. Yep.
Take me through what's going to happen here.
We start with medical, and so we'll start that.
What does that mean?
So he comes down next week, the week after.
Okay.
And we're just going to have him poked and prodded the way that they're going to do at the combine.
Okay.
And so we're going to find out what's going on, what we need to be aware of. So we start with things like that, cognitive testing, all baseline testing, because he's still so new from the season that we want to give him more recovery time.
Okay.
And then from there, we meet with nutritionist Jenna Braddock here locally. And And so we get all that stuff done. Nutrition,
does
chef.
Does he come every day? Or
he lives here. He's going to live here.
He will live here.
Yeah, he'll live here through at least Combine, possibly Pro Day.
Okay.
And then we will go Monday through Friday. It's usually about a 7 or 8 hour day.
Does he rent an apartment?
Yeah.
So Anthony Richardson will rent an apartment here to work with you guys every day.
Right. We've got him a house. Yeah.
Okay, he's got a house.
Yep,
okay, so he'll have a house.
So he'll be there for a couple months.
I see. And so medical first.
Medical
cognitive testing.
Yep.
Get a nutritionist in place.
Yep. And then start to make decisions early about, okay, what are you doing with the 40-yard dash? What are you doing with the L drill? What are you doing with all that kind of stuff so that we have a direction. Torque Sports Performance does all of our performance.
And that's a local group?
And that's a local off of 210.
Okay.
And so we'll start to get an idea of, okay, what is it that we need to work on? And then our end of things is whiteboard, interviews, mechanics. Yeah. And then we start working on Pro Day script, all that kind of stuff. And motion capture is a big part of this because we want to find, is there somewhere that he's leaking either power or accuracy?
Yeah.
And it's really hard to see that when a guy's that quick. And so that's where we'll start with everything. And then what we hope is by January 2nd, we are full speed, that everything's recovered, he's healthy, and then we go hard for about 8 to 9 weeks before he goes to the Combine.
Do you advise him to not run the 40 because he has so much game tapes that showcases how fast he can run the 40 in a game environment? Or do you want him to run the 40 because he's probably going to put up a number that is going to, if he runs it well, is going to be pretty breathtaking? We know
within a tenth of a second what the guys are going to run, and so we'll give them that information.
What would you expect he would run?
Low 4.4s.
It's 4.43.
Yeah.
Which would put him 99.9 percentile.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm
overall,
trying because
everybody.
Lamar didn't run the 40 at the Combine. Did he ever have a 40 on the books in that draft process?
I don't know.
I don't think he did.
I don't know, and I don't know. I don't know Anthony's 40 technique. How much we can shave off there? That's a question for Tom and AJ and their staff. We'll give him that information, and we will not advise him one way or the other. He'll make that decision.
Yeah.
And
I almost wouldn't run it because you've got the speed, and you could just say, look, put on. He's got plenty of long runs to pick from where he runs for 40 yards on a football field with a helmet and pads on.
Yeah.
You can get it, you can glean it off of that, and then that would allow him to work on everything else.
I think that's the thought that most people go into the Combine with, but what we forget is these guys are competitors.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, we've been doing this now for a couple years with this draft prep stuff, and every guy that's come in is like, yeah, I'm not sure I'm running the 40. A couple weeks before, no, I'm running the 40.
Yeah, I would think if I'm him, and maybe you're right, Hayes, I don't know, but I'm just guessing, I would think you'd want to do whatever you can do to blow people away. I would think Anthony Richardson running the 40 is going to blow them away. Even though they expect it, there's something about expecting it and then seeing it.
Yeah.
You can expect a guy to run 4.43, but watching a quarterback run 4.43 kind of wows you. You still got him when all the analytics are, and tell me if I'm way off here, Danny, but common sense tells me when all the analytics are in place and all the data is in place and all the tape has been watched and all the interviews have been done, there's still times when a GM or a scout gets wowed. Right, and that's beyond the numbers.
And you know what it is about the 40 is that 10-yard split. That 10 split for Anthony would be that could be a record for quarterbacks because he's so fast out the gate. So I think he's got some decisions to make. But, if I'm looking at the process, we talked about this last night. If I'm looking at the process, the thing I'm most excited about for him are the interviews because there's very few people that have had a chance to really, you guys got to sit down and meet Anthony, and I think everybody comes away from meeting Anthony, and they can't put their finger on it, but there's something just different about him.
I was blown away.
Yeah.
I was overwhelmingly impressed. It was not what I told you this the day I was with you the next day. I told you this. He has a very flamboyant playing style and charismatic playing style, and I expected to be talking to Deion Sanders. It was not that at all. It was respectful, quiet, humble, yet clear, articulate, passionate. I was blown away. I told you this a couple weeks ago. He will crush those interviews.
The kid has more empathy in his little finger than I have in my whole body.
Yeah, he
is a unique individual in a good way. It's like I still cannot explain what it is about Anthony, but there's just something so different, and he cares so much about people. And this is a real story, guys. Like if you ask Anthony if he's got a day off, what do you want to do on your day off? 10 out of 10 times, he's going to go volunteer and serve somewhere.
Right. Well, is that right?
Yes.
I can tell you this, and Hayes, I told you this story when Matt Hayes and I were at the SEC Media Days, and Hayes knows this because he's gone a bunch. Kind of a rite of passage is these guys get their suit, and they're excited about how they led. They got their threads on, man, and they're trying to outdress their two guys from their school plus the other guys, and they're all buddies. The quarterbacks are always trying to outdress each other because they all know each other from Manning camps and whatnot. Yep. So they're all friends. So that's kind of the thing. So he was really dolled up, and Ventrell Miller was really dolled up. And Ventrell wanted to win, man. He had the white coat and the plaid pants. It was looking sweet, right? And I get and what all of their. I mean, I've gone to this thing for 30 years. The answer is always, who's the best dressed? I'm the best dressed. Can't you see that? Check me out, man. I'm the best. That's always the answer. And it's playful, and they kid each other. Yeah. His answer was, Ventrell, man. Give it to Ventrell. Ventrell deserves it. He worked hard at it. Yep. And it's no big deal. It's just a question about clothing. It's a fun question. But that shocked me. You know, you think Deion Sanders would have said, give it to Warwick Dunn or whoever? No.
Mm-hmm. No, there's that old saying of the guy will give you the shirt off his back.
Yeah.
That is Ant.
Yeah.
That is Ant. He doesn't care about him. You guys saw it at the press conferences. Yeah. The guy took blame for everything to a point that almost frustrated me.
So before we get off Ant and get to some other stuff, so all this is going to happen. He's going to be living here in a house that you guys arranged for him. He's going to be doing medical testing. He's going to have a nutritionist. He's going to throw and lift and do all those things. What's the most important, Danny? What is he? I would think for him, if it's me, he can throw if he wants. I ain't got to watch him throw. He can run if he wants. I don't have to watch him run. That's just for me because I've watched him a bunch. I'll interview him, but I've had enough people tell me what a great guy he is. I'm not worried about character. I'm not worried about work ethic. I'm not worried about how he carries himself. I want him to convince me that he will have a knack for playing quarterback and that he will understand how to make the right decisions and what those decisions are. That's what I think. How do you answer that?
Yeah, I think where I'm sitting at right now, the most important thing and what I want to hear is I want to hear the explanation for when things went wrong this year. Why did they go wrong? What did you learn from it? How is this not going to be an issue going forward?
Yeah.
And I don't know what that explanation is, but I think that alone is probably the main question that all NFL GMs have right now. We've talked to a lot of NFL circles. There's no doubt that the kid's going to be a first rounder in their eyes. It's how does he answer those questions? Like how does he explain why did you come out after 1 year, and then talk to me about Kentucky, talk to me about South Florida, talk to me about whatever, and let's hear that explanation. And so the thing I know about Ant, he's going to be truthful. He's not going to beat around the bush at all. So I'm as interested as everybody else to actually hear those answers.
We'll take a break when we come back.